decided to do something different this morning rather than reading pieces of my short stories or extracts from my novels, to tell you some personal experiences I've had. The one that comes to mind this morning is happened when I was stripped and interrogated by the KGB in the Soviet Union. It happened in what was then called Leningrad, but of course now back to the lovely name of St. Petersburg. And my girlfriend and I were walking down the main avenue, the Nevsky Prospect, and we saw this man lying on the pavement, and we did the natural thing. We gave him some rubles, and he handed me a note. And there again, not remembering where we were, we read the note, and it said something, I can't remember the exact word, but something to the effect, they think me a spy, please take this. There was an address on it, please take this to the American consulate, and also there was an address in New York. So I put the note in my pocket, and later that day in the hotel there were some Americans. So I discreetly checked, and yes, there was an area in New York bearing the address. So I don't know what I did with it. The following day we went to Petrovaretz and Tsarskoye Selo, and it was only when I sort of packing up and going to the airport wondered, what would I do with the note? So I decided, well, I wasn't going to put it in my shoe. If I had been caught, well, that was just too obvious. So I put it among the, those addresses you collect on your way, when you meet people abroad and do nothing about it when you get home except put them in the bin. So I put his note in that and went off to the airport. I felt that the tourist guide was, I don't know whether it was my imagination, but she was a little bit apprehensive, but she wasn't her usual self. And when there were only two other men on the flight from, we call it St. Petersburg, to London. And I noticed that when I was going through security, or customs, where they were examining luggage, that he and I were getting a lot of attention. And I sort of glanced over to a wall, a mirrored section, and I saw the guide looking anxiously. Anyway, they went through everything and opened up the little wallet where I had all the addresses, and then there was great whooping when they found the note and held it up in the air. And my memory is vague after that. I was led off into a little room with white walls, it's like into a cupboard type of thing. No windows or anything like that. And I do remember saying to them when I was sort of stripped and just did I want to take my underpants off, and they said no. So they asked me a number of questions, and I wasn't, I wasn't afraid actually. I don't know what I felt. I was just answering questions. And then eventually I was told I could go, and got dressed. And of course, and actually they held the plane back, the London plane back for me. And my girlfriend was out of her mind with worry. And so we boarded the plane, and it was then that what had happened struck me. And I drank nearly half the bottle of vodka that we'd bought in duty free, but I started to cry. Not for myself or for the experience, but thought, my God, had I sent this man to Siberia? And what I'm really trying to say is that when we're facing certain circumstances that, which we don't know anything about, because if we did, we just wouldn't do it. But we're in a certain circumstance, and it happened to me, which I'll just say at another occasion, in a plane accident, that you're so consumed, your mind is so consumed with coming to terms with what is now, that you have no time to think of anything else. And this is what I'm trying to do at the moment, is to get into, rather than being, I'm very anxious about that. God only knows what it is, and this is why I'm going to hypnotherapy next week. But, I'm trying to learn to be in the what is now, just like in Leningrad, St. Petersburg. So, well, I hope you might find this interesting, but it's something that, where, especially in all these sort of economic and health times, it's just to try and just be in the now and not think of what's happening tomorrow. It's very difficult. Would you say I'm going for hypnotic therapy? I feel that would get me down out of the mind and into my subconscious. You probably think I'm mad, but I don't think I am. Okay, take care. Bye.